All right. Welcome back. It is Saturday, the 27th of January, 2024, and this is episode 13 of Shop Talk. Today's topic, those who might see me on Instagram, chrome versus powder coat. Chrome versus powder coat. So I did a poll, and we had 84 and 20 is 104 and 70 is what? 174.
Yeah.
173. We had 173 responses on the poll. 49% said chrome, 40% said powder coat, 11% said spray paint. Okay. So 84 people said chrome, 69 people said powder coat, and then 20 people said spray paint, which I threw the spray paint in there just to kind of, make a joke out of it. So 84 to 69, that's kind of close. That's kind of close. Would you call that close?
Yep.
49% and 40%.
It's less than 10%, right?
That's 9% difference. Chrome. What'd you vote? Did you vote?
Yeah.
What'd you vote? You voted powder coat.
Oh, yeah, powder coat.
Powder coat. Why?
Because I'm lazy.
Okay.
I don't want to sit into the car and wipe it down every time you go to a show or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a lot of work. Sitting in the car trying to clean it up, clean up all the watermarks or water spots.
Now, when we say powder coat, I mean we're assuming black.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, if you have a red car, you're gonna powder coat your A-arms red? Or the rear end? I mean, you can get away with the rear end, but no, it look better black.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do like the chrome spring, you can mix and match, but I was kind of asking like full chrome versus powder coat.
The suspension parts.
The suspension, yeah. So basically,
not the frame.
Not the frame, but suspension like steering knuckles, spindles, springs, control arms, tie rods, rear end, trailing arms, stuff like that. So Bobby says powder coat. So you don't think you'll ever have a car with chrome undercarriage?
No.
No? Don't care for it?
No.
Just too much work, too high maintenance.
Yeah, it's too much work.
Okay.
I wouldn't even want to drive it if.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me. I know people do, but the chrome quality is different.
Okay, so that's a huge factor. That's a huge factor, man. I don't know if there's a difference in quality in powder coat. I guess there is, but not quite noticeable like chrome.
Yeah, because you see chrome at shows where it has rust on the little crevices or.
Okay, yeah. So that opens up the whole conversation of
show chrome.
Yeah, like chrome versus show chrome, street chrome. Like to me, street chrome is an excuse.
That was like back in the day, everybody would say, "Oh, go to Dallas."
Go to economy plating, and I've had it. I did that twice. So okay, so we're gonna get into that, but I mean, like, what do you think about chrome plating stuff that's not molded, like welds?
That's ugly. That's ugly.
Okay, Bobby says it's ugly. For one, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail in any little crevice that moisture gets. It's gonna fester and it's gonna rust. Any area that they can't get in and polish smooth, it's gonna rust. So I think chroming suspension that's not molded is a complete waste of money because it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
It's going to fail. So what about powder coating suspension that's not molded? Powder coat.
I did that on my car.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, you couldn't even see my beautiful welds.
Yeah.
Because the powder coat covers.
It's thick. It's thicker than paint.
Yeah.
Well, arguably, you can put a bunch of layers of paint and clear. But yeah, I get it. It's durable.
I mean, it depends where you go too. Because remember that one dude we used to go to.
Oh, for powder coat, yeah, it's all in the prep. I mean, just like chrome, I guess the process is similar. I mean, it's all in the prep, or how clean the part is, before you coat it or whatever. But me personally, I'm kind of over. I'm over chrome. Like, I don't know that I'll ever do it again. I've had 3 cars. 2 of them were the street chrome, which is basically something shiny under the car that looks really good at night, but meh during the day. It's not something that I would take the wheels off at a show and display. It's a car that you're driving down the street and it's something shiny. You got a shiny rear end. You're like, oh damn, he's got a chrome rear end, and that's about it. That's about all you get out of it. I wouldn't take the rims off at a show to display, street quality chrome. The problem with the street quality chrome is like I say, they don't polish that good, and in any little nooks and cranny and crevices that they don't smooth out, it's gonna rust. It's gonna fail. It's gonna rust quickly.
Yeah.
So like when you go to the show and like all these areas, like like around the ball joints and stuff where you see camera cut off. You see these areas that are like yellow. That's it's gonna rust. It's gonna fail. So I don't know that I would ever chrome again. I mean, I'm over it. I think my opinion on chrome suspension is it almost deserves like a molded and painted frame.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about a whole nother level of a car. Like you're talking about, so if you're going to mold and paint the frame or powder coat the frame, then you got to mold the suspension and chrome, then you're going to chrome that. Like you're talking about a full blown show car.
Yeah, that took a long time. Like you see a Red Rocket on YouTube or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And see all the work that he's doing to his frame.
The frame, yeah. Well, he's going to paint that, and he's already got some chrome stuff. So, I mean, to each their own. I didn't chrome anything on the 60 underneath. Like, it's powder coat. It's a mixture of powder coat and epoxy, which arguably I think epoxy is more durable than powder coat. I think so. I think so. I mean, well, it also depends on the prep. Like, you can have if you have crappy prep on the powder coat, and ideal prep on the epoxy is going to last longer than the powder coat. Now, if you're ideal in both areas, the powder coat will probably outlast. But I mean, arguable. But I think the chrome, I don't know, man. Like it.
And this is on full frame also.
Full frame. Like, don't go chrome your rear end and then like
your frame is off.
Greasy and like original, and so is the floors. Like,
that's probably the ones that are spray painted.
Yeah. yeah. Like I don't know, man. Personal opinion, of course, but like prices have gone up too, man. Like I remember back in the day. When I say back in the day, I'm talking like 06, 07, which is pushing 20 years now. Like you can take your stuff up to Dallas and I mean, I think on the Lincoln, I think it was like, man, don't get me lying, but it was like $1,600, rear end and all. And then after that, I did first in 04, I did the 64, which is 20 years. That suspension was $5,000, and it was good quality. And then all the little nooks and crannies and all that was polished, so it was triple chrome, show chrome. And then like around maybe 06, 07, 08, something, when I had the Lincoln and the Fleetwood coupe, that was like street chrome, and it was like $1,600, between 14 and 16, something like that. Rear end, control arms, tie rods and stuff like that. But a big difference in quality.
Yeah, how was the frame?
Yeah, the frame was stress point. Both frames were stress point reinforced, but not molded.
And they were
Spray paint black.
Spray painted.
And with the chrome. And I have pictures, but so back then the whole mentality was different.
Yeah.
The mentality back then was different. For me, it was like I just wanted something shiny under the car.
Yeah.
So when you're driving down the street at night and somebody's behind you and man, the rear end is like glowing, it looks good. It looks good, but I wouldn't put that on jack stands at the show. No, I'd probably even lower the back. Like
it was gone because it had the white wheel wells.
Yeah. No.
But the neon lights.
That's coming back too, So I think if you start chroming stuff, man, it just like snowballs into this. It just gets out of control, man. Like, I mean,
yeah, you gotta do this. You
gotta do that. You gotta do this, and so like you're gonna
to make it right.
Like if you're gonna chrome the suspension, I mean, in my opinion, like the engine block has to match the color of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, that's a whole nother project in its own. Like painting the motor and assembling it all shiny and stuff, and then you get to the point that, I mean, like you say, you don't even want to drive it because it's going to get dirty. So at that point, what is it?
Exactly.
A big model car.
Yeah.
And like Bobby said, I'm too lazy. Like I don't want to chrome. I don't want to lay under the car and clean. I don't want to do that.
I don't even watch my.
Yeah,
I don't even watch the Beater Deluxe.
Yeah, I ain't washed my truck in probably 4 months. Like I don't even want to do it. So I'm a powder coat guy now. I think some people might say, somebody might be outdoing somebody because they got chrome and this one don't. Like
they're the same kind of work, same amount of work.
It is essentially. It is.
It's just preference.
It's just preference. I mean, if you were to build a set of arms and mold them out and powder coat them, that's the same amount of work, except you dropped it off at powder coat or you dropped it off at the polisher, at the chrome shop.
It might be a little expensive, but I mean,
yeah.
Okay. You spend all your money on your car instead of something else, then
yeah,
I don't mean shit.
Yeah. So I'm a powder coat guy. I would rather spend the money on chroming exterior aluminum on the car, like grill, side moldings, not really stainless, but chroming exterior aluminum. So like tail panel, I'd rather spend the money on that because that looks good. You can have a car with chrome, all the aluminum moldings are chromed, and the stainless is polished, and you park it, and it looks great. Versus you have a car that, it's all looks great on the outside, and then you lock it up or whatever, and you look underneath, and it's all like man, that would look better if it was just black instead of cheap chrome. I guess basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to chrome, don't do cheap chrome.
Yeah.
Do molded triple chrome. It's also easier to maintain. When everything is molded, when all the crevices are molded, all you got to do is just wipe it. It's all molded. Like, it's easy to clean. Versus, little area here you got to go with polish and all that. Like, man, I'm over that. I ain't never doing that again. It's too much work. Too much work. So I would rather chrome aluminum molding than chrome suspension.
Or buy better accessories for the car.
Yeah, a power seat or whatever. Spend the money in that area versus shiny stuff underneath. Because, and then like engraving suspension. Like I don't know, man. Some people watching might be into that, man, but I'm totally not into that. I
don't think none of us in the club are.
No, the four of us are not into that, man. To me, it's I see it as a waste. I think you should only engrave
belt buckles,
belt buckles, pistols, and knives, and that's it. That's the only thing that needs to be engraved. That's it. Personal opinion, but some of this stuff's getting out of hand. So, spray paint. I spray paint the suspension on the Lincoln. The wheel wells are spray painted. The A-arms are spray painted.
I mean, it ain't gonna last.
No, it ain't gonna last. But okay, so go hit it again with the can. I guess it all depends on where you're at, what level you're building the car.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather, the least thing you can do is, if you just put hydraulics on your 88 Cutlass, 87 Cutlass, and you lift up the rear, and the rear end is rusted, surface rust is scale and stuff, at least spray paint it black. At least.
Or brush on Rust-Oleum.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Something, so you're not riding around locked up with a rusted rear end. Just put something on it. Black. Matte black, flat black, gloss black, something.
The Mexican flag?
Yeah.
Like my car?
Somebody actually was driving around like that, man. Like, if you think about it. I mean, hey, man, it's your car. Like, you can do whatever you want. But we're just responding to the comments. There's 175 people. I thought that was pretty significant. I don't know the age. I wish there was a way you could tell the age of the people responding, because I think maybe the older dudes, like 40 and up, might say powder coat for the same reasons we did.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody want to lay under there and clean all that. Versus somebody who might be in their 20s, they want to outdo some, people and stuff. It's competitive. If you compete, I don't compete. I compete with myself.
Like we said, it's the same amount of work.
So you don't think there'll ever be a time where you say, 62's done, it's been done for a year, I'm going to go ahead and chrome the front end. I'm going to take the suspension off and let's chrome it.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Too much work.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
We'll be building another car, like a 63 convertible.
Yeah. Well, all right, man, that's a wrap for this week. Chrome versus powder coat versus spray paint. Chrome won. Powder coat was second. Spray paint was, laughable. But close. 9% difference in the chrome. Also, man, like, people can vote, like, with no intention of ever paying for any of that, like, it's got to be chrome. Well, man, some of that's just like $8,000, like,
Yeah.
No.
But I think it's just like a lowrider thing or like a show thing, because, like, if you go to, like, bigger shows like Autorama, like, you see all them old school cars, like, none of them have chrome. The only ones that have chrome are the front show ones.
Like front center displays.
So I think it's more like a lowrider thing.
Well, some of these lifted trucks have chrome stuff too, man. Like, I would never do that. Chrome suspension on a 4x4 truck?
What's the point?
It's supposed to be in the dirt. Anyways, man, hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all stay tuned for next Shop Talk, and we'll bring you guys back.